recording, also positive.
Yes.
All right, here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1.
Grant and Granny Northrop live in a white clapboard house in the middle of town with their grandson Pud and Pud's parrots, Jim and Susan.
The morning stream, 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 the morning stream.
You are listening to The Morning Stream with Spry and Gibbet and Bot Johnston.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS. It's the morning stream for January 16th, 2020. I didn't finish it.
Is that really what the
That's the rule.
statute is? Like, as long as you don't put the last N on that 2019.
Yep. I try every day, and I've usually done pretty good. But, man, on a daily show where you have to say it every day, it's hard to remember, man. Hard.
My uncle and I used to play a ton of backgammon together.
Oh, you love
One
backgammon.
of my favorite classic board games. I love backgammon.
Yeah.
And we had this rule that as long as you didn't take your finger off of the piece you moved,
Yeah.
you could change it. But once your finger comes off that piece, you can't say, "Oh wait, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this."
Interesting.
So that was the rule. So, we'd move our piece, and then, or our opponent would see that we've moved our piece, and it's something that we wanted them to do for some other strategic reason, but they'd keep their finger on it. So we would always do something to try and make the other player take their finger off the piece. So, like, punch in the arm, or throw something so that they have to catch it. Take their
Nice.
finger off the piece.
Nice. That adds a real physicality to that game.
It does, which I think is what that game needs, is a little more physicality, a
I
little more
agree.
full contact backgammon is what I think the world needs.
Here's what's
The
funny.
Olympic sport.
You could tie me to a chair, put a gun to my head, and say, "You will survive, and we'll give you $20 million if you can now tell us the rules to backgammon."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, "I hate backgammon. I'll never play it." Blah blah blah.
No, none of that. I would have to recite the rules for the game, and I couldn't do it. It's been that long, and I don't remember what you do.
Oh my God! I think you would find it's like riding a bike. You'd get back into it in 5 minutes. You'd be back all over.
Now, do you think with that gun to my head, though, would I have the wherewithal to?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. Not you'd be under duress to
Yeah.
try and remember how to play backgammon.
I would for sure. I don't know if I wanted that ever to
Love
happen.
that.
But yeah.
Othello and backgammon were our two big games. We played so much of those. Like, we had Monopoly, we had Sorry, we had Parcheesi, we had all that stuff. But backgammon and Othello were our number one go-tos.
I think
Or,
this
guess
might
number
this
one and
might
number
those
two
are
go-tos.
those are sophisticated games to play early in life.
They are.
And I think that may speak to why you have an affinity toward games and trivia and sort of thinking man's puzzly type stuff. Because you were sort of raised on that. For me, it was like, you want to play Chutes and Ladders or freaking
Candyland?
Yeah, Candyland, or do you want to play Operation and try to pull fake bones out of a body and not touch the sides? Like, it was a lot of that.
But
when I was a kid.
look at how that's probably enhanced your video game playing, especially Operation, right? Because that is eye-hand coordination. It's precise. It's
Yeah, there's probably something to that. Sure.
yeah.
Hungry Hippos was another one.
Sure.
That kind of dumb stuff. Oh, I did play a lot of Stratego for some reason, so there was a little bit of that. But again, that leads towards sort of strategic video game thinking, probably a little bit. I went a lot of chess. I played a lot of chess. Here's the problem with the chess, though. I think I've said this on the show before, but just let this be a reminder and a warning to all those out there who may have a dumb brother. My brother Matt made wood shop. Did I tell you about this? He made a chessboard in high school that was a beautiful chessboard out of nice wood, good finish, and all of that. But he built it with an extra row in it.
Nice.
So we brought that home,
and further apart. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had an extra row between us, between the opponents. So we played a ton of chess that way, and that's not good. Because then all your moves that you do and your strategies and your plans and everything doesn't work when you go play anybody else. Like literally a whole row is not there when you play with somebody else. So it was really bad to do that.
Yeah, you get used to like, I still have a whole extra row before I get to their pawns.
Oh, Matt, you got a grid.
Just dawned on me.
Yeah.
So you remember really popular in the 80s were those electronic chess games where you could play against the computer, right? And
Yep.
they'd have like
Yep.
sensors so that it knew where your rook was and
Mhm.
that sort of thing.
Sure,
And I think they even came out with ones that would move the pieces for you as well.
sure. I remember those.
Do you think how cool would it be, and would it improve the game or take away from the game to have a modern chessboard where one of the squares is missing and randomly like the squares move around like on a sliding number puzzle, and your piece could be on one of those squares, your opponent's piece could be on one of those squares, but you've kind of got like every time you make a move, a square move, like a tile moves, and one of the tiles moves to fill that hole.
I could see. I mean, you'd either have to make an alternate way to play in the core game, or
Right.
I mean, in video games, you see this all the time. I had a Warhammer 40K game that was basically chess, but it was with Warhammer dudes. So you'd have like, Blood Angel humans on one side, and on the other side you had the orcs or something, and they would all be, they would be, like for the rooks, they would be a certain kind of orc, and they could move just like chess pieces. And then when you would have a killing move, or a move where you take out another piece, there was a guaranteed kill and be this big animation where you're like jugga 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 shooting the orc in the face or whatever.
Right.
And then you'd move into his space. But if it was just if you had nowhere else to move, but the guy was in range of your gun, you could still shoot him for some damage. It wouldn't kill them, but it'd just do some damage. And that was playing fast and loose with chess games or chess rules, and it was so much fun. I love that freaking game.
That's
So,
cool.
so
Yeah,
I'm all for that sort of
changing things up like that I really like. Yeah.
Yeah, but just don't train yourself. On
Right.
on
To learn
board.
it the bad way.
Yeah.
The mod. Don't learn the mod
Yeah.
without learning.
I always thought, now what if I tried to join the chess club? Would they just kick me out of here because of this ridiculous extra row problem I have?
Probably. Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. When I horse jump my knight over here, usually I'm still 2 spaces or a space away from that one right there. How's
Right.
this possible?
Right, and it's amazing because any game played on a grid, that's the whole point, is the grid is a set grid. So if you change
Right.
the grid, you're screwed. Hey, you know how those guys, like actual tabletop Warhammer players, you know how it's always they're painting the miniatures and going all crazy with it. I always wondered, because they don't have a set board for that game. It's just a table,
Right.
and then you maybe put obstacles around it, and
Sure.
you might
'Cause
paint it.
you're measuring the distance by hand and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Yes.
didn't know that until I watched Metzin's doing a series with his friend where they play Warhammer on camera on Twitch. And it's fun to watch because I don't know anything about actual Warhammer play other than the video games, because I love the games. But he's a big Warhammer guy, and Chris is out there playing it, and all 3 of them are walking around with tape measures. And I went, that's how you do it? You roll your dice and you go, okay, well, that's 5, and then he measures out like 5 inches or whatever the agreed increments are, and then you just move your thing 5. Like, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That new Marvel Crisis Protocol game is like that. You've got spaces, but your attack is use little measuring things to figure out if you can reach the enemy, not like counting squares saying, all right, well, they're 4 squares away from me, so I guess I can use my web shooter. Flip.
I want to watch you role play you playing that game.
Oh yeah, okay, I totally will.
Sure.
Yeah,
Do you have that game? You have that game.
I do.
Have you had a chance to full blown play it? Or?
No, because I want to paint the miniatures before. So basically, you have to have the miniatures put together before you can play it.
Yeah.
They're all on whatever those things are called. The when you know how model pieces come on a frame, and you have to pull them off the frame and put them together.
Sure.
They're all on the frame, and I don't want to take them off the frame to put them together until I paint them. I like painting things when it's on the frame.
That makes sense. JC Calhoun asked, the game I was talking about with Warhammer and chess, is it Warhammer Regicide? And that is correct. That is it. It's still a thing you get on Steam, and I think iOS has it, and it's a nifty chess variant, especially if you like the Warhammer universe and that kind of stuff. It's very cool, and I'm a huge fan of that. I don't know what it is about Warhammer. I know what it is. It's my whole post-apocalyptic thing, except in that case it's science fiction and it's set way in the future, but everything's just blown to shit in that world, and I just love that. It's so cool. Oh, I got bad news today. Oh, Brian, bad news.
No, what's going on? Oh no!
The Amazon Prime production of the Dark Tower series they were working on has been canceled.
Yeah. Oh no! Well, maybe
They canceled
maybe it'll come back, right? Maybe.
It never came to start with. This is just early production. It's not. There's nothing. There is no series. It doesn't exist. They were going to make it, and now they've canceled making it.
Right, but I mean, they've usually some if there's enough demand for something like this, it might get picked back up.
You think so? Maybe Netflix might say, "Hey, we'll take it. We'll do it."
Maybe.
I mean, Netflix likes their genre original series. Why not? Why don't they take it? I'm irritated. Right. I know the movie was bad. I know
HBO.
The movie that would be a great place, but the movie was terrible. I know it was. It wasn't right. That's not the problem, though. There's lots of examples of bad movies that make good TV shows. So there's no reason why they can't take that series and make a proper show. It's the perfect setup for a TV show. Oh man, I'm so annoyed by that.
See, I never read that series, and you know what's funny? Have not seen the Idris Elba, the recent film adaptation for it either. So
good.
Maybe I need to.
It's terrible.
Maybe I need to just break down and see. Yeah, is it really bad? I know
it's very bad.
Said it's bad.
Yeah, the just does not do any justice to those books. The books are my favorite series in the world. They're so good.
Gotcha.
Worth reading if you ever get a chance to read them. Give them a shot. All right, couple of quick things. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, today. Wish it was tomorrow. Today at, let's see, 12:30 my time, 11:30 California time, I'll be interviewing Jeremy Fiesel on the WoW team about patch 8.3 and a bunch of questions about that. And I've got a load of questions for myself, but if anybody listening to this show is like, hey, I still play Warcraft, I'm interested in all of that, putting in the chat room a quick link to frogpants.com/questions.
To remember.
Yeah,
Jeez.
It's easy, super easy. frogpants.com/questions. It's specific to this. If you have any questions about 8.3 for Jeremy and you want to see if I can squeeze it in, I can't guarantee they'll all get in, but I'm going to put in some good pointed ones. So toss your question in that direction, and I'll be doing that in an hour. Everybody listening to this at home, it'll be over by the time you hear this, so don't go there.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, you can go there if you want, but the questions won't go anywhere. So
you can enter as many questions as you want. We won't use them.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right. Yesterday,
cool.
I ate a spider. I got to get this out of the way.
Tell me. Wow, sounds like it's coming back up.
I even talking about it makes me want to work it up. I ate a spider, but here's the thing. I don't actually care. Here's what happened. See this bag? This is a bag of sunflower seeds.
Yes.
I get these at the Asian market.
Okay.
I like them because you know how
flavored specifically.
They kind of have a coconut
Asian flavored.
They have kind of a coconut vibe to them, but they're not super flavored. They're just kind of basic, but they do have kind of a, I wouldn't say it's sweet, but it's like a, I don't know, coconutty deal. And they're very good. They're my favorite kind of sunflower seeds because they're not super salty at all. They're not salty, period. So when I eat them, I can eat tons of them, and it's not like I'm having salt overdose. It just feels like I'm eating like seeds. It's no big deal.
Good.
So these have been great and everything, and I don't think it was the package of these because these are been put in separate bags so I don't eat them all at once. It's like, here, Scott, here's a portion. Don't eat all of them. Just eat these or whatever. So
right.
So last night after core, I'm sitting here and I got this little bag and I'm eating sunflower seeds, and I reached in there and I pulled a sunflower seed out and I popped it open with my hand. And I went to go toss it in my mouth. And as I did so, I felt a little something extra go in there. And I thought, well, that's a weird thing. What's this? And that thing is moving. Yeah, it's moving.
Okay.
It's gesticulating.
This was in the seed?
No, it was. This is the question. I don't know.
Okay.
How it got in, where it got in. Was it in the process of when Kim was putting them in the bags? Was it sometime later? Was it in the actual seeds at the Asian market? Totally possible. I don't know if the FDA has any control over that stuff. Yeah, I know. Okay. So I'm kind of going, this thing's like gesticulating in my mouth, whatever this is. I'm going to sort of spit this out and see what's up. So I kind of get the thing out there, and sure enough, it's a little tiny little spider guy crawling around. And it hit me all at once. Either I will just lose my mind that I just did this, or I don't care. And I took
so you didn't eat the spider. You tasted the spider.
Okay, I tasted of the spider. I had it in my mouth. I took it out. I threw him away, and I've eaten more of these since. So I'm not even bothered by it.
Well, there's one spider in every bag, so now you know that the rest of the bag is clear.
It's how they keep it fresh. It's a silica spider. It's like a little pouch of silica gel.
Yeah, but you didn't freak out or like.
No,
I don't know
that's
how,
why. That's what I don't
wouldn't.
get. I know this isn't like me. I should have freaked out. Was I just tired? Was I just like, well, of course that happened.
I would have spit that thing out. I would have seen it move and said, "Ah!" Oh my God! I would have jumped up from whatever seat I was in, ran around the room going, "Ah!"
Yeah. I again, that's what I thought I would do, and I was in fact amazed as I sat there looking at it, going, "Why am I not freaking out?" Like I had this moment of like self-reflection.
Zen.
Yeah, it was like my brain. I was looking in at my brain and saying, "You're supposed to be losing your mind. Why aren't you losing your mind?" And I just didn't. I just moved on. You know what? Maybe that was truly a sign that I'm all out of poops to give. I don't have any poops left to give. I don't give a poop, Brian.
Wow, dude, I'm amazed, man.
Yeah,
I'm amazed.
So anyway, I don't know.
I would not have been able to. I would have had poops.
Yeah,
Scott.
You'd still have poops.
I'd still have poops. I'd still be thinking about it, and still freaking out probably. I don't know. It's one of those things that maybe you don't know how you're going to react until you're actually in that situation.
That's true. I do now have a weird tingly feeling when someone's around, and I can also shoot webs out of my arms, which I think.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. One's a real Spider-Man power. Another one is BS that was added to the movies.
Yeah, that's true. I can climb on walls weirdly. That's
better. That's better.
Yeah. What else can I do? I got my uncle killed. My uncle.
Your agility. You can lift 10 times your own weight now.
Yep. My uncle died. That was a thing. It was my fault, though. It's my fault.
Yeah, right. I know. You're gonna wrestle with that for the rest of your life.
Well, I have a new sense of responsibility for the power, though, that I have. So
do you? Okay. Well, what is the power vis-a-vis responsibility? Ratio.
Oh, I see how they're juxtaposed. Well, they're with This is what he said as he was dying there on the street. He said, "With great power comes great responsibility," and I said, Oh, you mean like these new things I can do? And right before his last breath was, "Of course, you dumbass," and then he died.
Right, exactly.
So,
duh.
Yeah. Then I had to go home and tell Aunt May.
You lied to me about going to the library.
They're all going to laugh at you.
You were wrestling. I can smell it on you.
I don't know why every time you do that voice, it reminds me that they're all going to laugh at you, lady. Every time.
They're all going to laugh at you. Just does not work without the echo.
No, you need it. Although I guess in her case, now I don't know what she does. Hold on, I have it right here. Let me just play it.
Yeah.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
I mean, she kind of is echoey.
She has a little bit of echo. Yeah. There's way more echo in me than there is in her.
Yeah.
And you don't really hear the echo until laugh at you.
Yeah.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
I love that dumb thing so much. All right. And this was you at the top of the show. That was you. You may have known that. I don't know.
I don't know. When did I do that?
I play. It was a few days ago, and I think you were yawning.
Okay, not the top of today's show.
No, it was today's show. It was at the top there today. I played it.
I mean, I didn't make that noise at the top of today's show. You played me making that noise. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So you play. You made this
sound.
sound.
When did I do that?
You made this sound. I think it was last week, and it's when you were yawning, and I asked you a question, and you went, like we did one of those. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just
what I do.
It's just good.
That's my noise when I stretch.
Yep.
Many things elicit that kind of explanation from me, by the way.
Yeah.
But we won't go into that list today.
I only want to know about none of them.
People will discover those over time.
Yeah. Can't wait. All right. Hey, everybody. Do you know we do the news here? Good, because now it's time. time for the news, brought to you by.
Do you love award shows? Do you love trying to predict who's going to snag that Best Actress or Actor award? What will win Best Drama Series at the Emmys? And what movie walks away with the all-important Best Picture Oscar or the Best Picture Oscar? Then you'll love Award Theory. AwardTheory.com is a website that allows you to place predictions on who will win the year's major awards in film and television. You can set up groups with your friends or coworkers to compete against each other or compare your predictions on a global leaderboard and see how you measure up. It's fast, simple, fun, and free. Go to awardtheory.com, invite your friends. They're all going to laugh at you and start placing your predictions. Oscar 2020 predictions are now live. So what are you waiting for? Award Theory. Predict award show winners.
It's cool. I just went there. It's very
Yeah.
nice. Look at how nice this
It's
is.
a really cool looking site. Yeah. I haven't signed up yet, but I will, and I got to check this
Yeah,
out.
this seems like a thing you would really like, given your like of this award stuff.
Predilection
Yeah.
towards awards. Yes.
Can you? Well, never mind. I'm not going to ask that. There's this thing I want to know about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but that movie, I can stream that now, right? Isn't that a thing I can do? Or rent it?
Yeah, didn't you already see it though?
No, I still haven't seen it.
Have you seen Joker yet?
No.
Start with Joker.
See
That
Joker
one you can
first?
stream.
Oh,
See Joker first.
okay.
Number one, it's up for more categories than
It's up for the
Once
most categories, right? Isn't it?
and it is up for the most categories in this year's Oscars. But I'd still say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's a good one to watch because Tarantino's going to walk away with something. He's going to walk away with gold in his hand after the Oscars. I just don't know
Which gold, yeah.
where, or which shoe he's going to store it in.
Well, what's his name? Justin earlier in the week, or yesterday, no, 2 days ago, predicted this would be his best picture year. Like, because he's never gotten been nominated.
I think 1917, maybe. I mean, boy, long shot Parasite, but I'd love to see Parasite take it. AMC just announced their 2-day movie thing where they play all the nominees one right after another.
Oh.
They're only doing 7 of the 9. I really quickly glanced at it and I didn't see which 2 they weren't doing.
Oh, I wish it was 7 of 9, and it's just Jerry Ryan sitting in a chair.
It's just her saying, all right, in 1917, a couple guys are sent to the front line to warn them of an impending trap set by the Germans.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
She got a little Borg appliance on her head. Oh,
That would be awesome.
that'd be really cool. By the
I
way,
don't think I could sit through something like that.
we forgot to say it when Daryl was here, but this week today marks the 25th anniversary, 25-year anniversary of Voyager. That's how old
Oh,
that is.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Seems longer than 25
It
years,
does. And in 1 week,
but
Pickard.
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 Gene Luck
The
Pickard.
Pickard Show,
The Pickard
starring
Show.
Jean-Luc Pickard as Jean-Luc Pickard.
It's like a 70s variety show version of that.
That's right. With
Anyway.
special guests Jamie Farr.
Oh, my Lord.
Ruth Buzzy and J.P. Morgan.
You know all those guys. You
I
can
do,
pull those
yes.
names out of nowhere. I love it.
I probably could get those 3 for a nerdtacular All-Stars game if I wanted to.
Probably. And they'll probably do it on video for
Probably
you.
would do it, yeah.
Not just with
probably.
action figures or whatever the hell that was.
Right, they would actually show up, yes.
That was so
Blue,
weird.
blue, blue, I'm Lieutenant Yar. Blue, 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 blue.
That was the weirdest thing.
It
I mean,
really
part
was.
of me is like, oh, it's too bad we didn't get, her doing it. But
Yeah,
part of me is
yeah.
like, no. This little weird thing is so much better.
It's so much better because we as much as we loved the folks from Archer or Andy Milder from Weeds doing the introductions in previous years, this is the one that we keep talking about. Is
Oh, yeah.
Lieutenant Yar and her little action figure playhouse.
And you can only, there's no proof that it's actually Denise.
No,
Like, it's
no,
just.
that's like the only proof I have is that someone with her email address sent it to me.
Yeah. And we think that's her voice. If you do a voice recognition pattern, it's probably going to match. Like, there's so much, intrigue around it. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Right.
All right, let's move on to this first news story. Burger King in the news. You know the King. They got the Whopper and the whatnot
Sure,
over there.
and that plastic-faced king that never changes his expression and just creeps people out.
Yeah, all of their food tastes like smoke to me. I don't go there very often.
Really?
Yeah, it depends. Like lately, it feels like anytime I've had a Whopper, it just it tastes like smoke. Like
Does it not good smoke? Like I like the flame broiled flavor, but you're saying that it's like
super artificial.
Not good.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Just
Okay.
kind of fakery business going on there.
Oh.
Well, anyway, that has nothing to do with this. In fact, it might be good in the UK, and that'll be good because Burger King has invited Harry and Meghan, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan,
Sure.
to don new crowns as they seek employment. Since the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, announced they were stepping back from Buckingham Palace and trying to pay their own bills. A wealth of interesting job offers from the couple have come to them. Now Burger King is getting in on the royal PR cycle, asking Harry and Meghan to don a different kind of crown, one of the paper variety. I'm sure
So,
this is all dead serious. Yeah.
Help me with my memory. Was there a movie where there was a character, and I think it was a woman, didn't want to live the royal life and decided she wanted to live among the common people, and so she kind of disguised herself as a commoner and experienced the life outside of royalty?
That's not you're not thinking of Coming to America where Eddie Murphy works at McDowell's, right?
No. I mean, that is a similar thing because he just wants to not have an arranged marriage and go find his Roman Holiday. Was it Roman Holiday?
Roman Holiday?
That might have been it, because I was thinking it wasn't the Princess Diaries or
Right. It wasn't Ralph, King Ralph.
Enchanted or King. I never saw King Ralph, so I have no idea. The beginning of Aladdin, people are saying.
Oh, here it is. Roman Holiday. A bored and sheltered princess escapes her guardians and falls in love with an American newsman in Rome. Is this it?
I think it might be. Yeah.
It's an old.
Stick your hand in there. See?
Yeah.
Except that wasn't.
It's Audrey.
Different.
It's Gregory Peck, Audrey Hepburn, and Eddie Albert. It's old.
Eddie Albert.
Yeah.
Nice.
What year?
Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka, right?
Well, this is highly rated.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? Roman Holiday is fantastic.
1953, looks like. Okay.
There's a great suspenseful scene where Audrey Hepburn puts her arm. She basically fists a Neptune statue in Rome.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, that's Jack Albertson. That's right. Eddie Albert was. I didn't say Aubrey Hepburn. I said Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, you said Audrey. You can say Aubrey.
Come on now.
Yeah, I didn't hear Aubrey.
No, that is a classic. That's one to see if you haven't seen. Oliver on Green Acres. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes, right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Eddie Albert. Oh, Eddie. Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Green Acres is the place to be. Dude, that guy lived to 99.
Wow.
Jeez, well done, Eddie Albert. 99 years old, died in 2005. Just
cool.
while the third prequel was being launched, he died.
All right, so put that on your classic movies list for you and Tom. Is Roman Holiday? It's a great one to see.
Okay, and is it actually? I'm gonna do that now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say or you know what I'm gonna do? Here's what we'll do. We'll do it live on the show. We're doing it live.
Okay. Do it live.
Yep. We're gonna say
F it, I'll do it live. Sting and he's gonna play us out with Fields of Gold on a harpsichord.
Yep.
See you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. F it. That guy sucks.
He does suck.
Anyway, so this probably isn't going to happen, but Burger King in Argentina, an agency, HOA, decided that if the royal couple becomes financially independent, it would be great to have them join Burger King in their ranks. In a letter addressed to the Duke and Duchess, it says this: Dear Dukes.
Dear Dukes.
Dear Dukes. If you're looking for
Those Dukes are at it again, and there's only one Duke because she's a Duchess.
Right, she's
you
not
know,
a Duke.
You know the plural of like when you invite the Duke and the Duchess over, you don't say, "Hey, Dukes, what are you doing later?"
Yeah, we'd like to welcome the Dukes to the party. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a job, we have a new crown for you. We found out that the Princess and Duchess decided to give up. Sorry, the Prince and the Duchess decided to give up their roles as the royal family, and will become financially independent. So we have a proposition for you: do as thousands of people do, and take the first steps in the workforce with us. You know, the crown will suit you perfectly. After many, many years living as dukes, see again.
Right.
Nobody can take that seriously, Burger King.
No, just do it. Just say royalty. If you need a plural, if you need to address the two of them together,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it ends with a code, and you scan it on your phone, like a QR code, and it gives them employeeship just by scanning it. They just go to the website and they're in. That's weird.
yeah.
Well done, Burger
is.
King. Nice.
Yeah, you know what though? They, I don't know.
I mean, we're talking about them, aren't we? So
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. And that is what they're going for. They have no plans whatsoever for them to actually take them up on this, but
no.
yeah.
Here's the deal. I like this idea in theory that they're cutting cord. Because first of all, the Royals and it's all that tradition is freaking stupid. Like, I know it's tradition and people want to keep it around or whatever, but it is toothless and dumb. Now, you Canadians can always say, well, the Queen can break the vote tie for our parliament or whatever. I know there's weird stuff there, but for the most part, like the Royals and keeping it the way it is and just all that money and weird inbreeding and everything, what are you doing? Why?
Right.
Just
right.
break it up. You're done. You don't have the power anymore. It's all, if you do it all, it's perceived. It's like no big deal. Like, just be done and go do something else. Kings are done. Queens are done.
Do they still have the ability? We've been watching The Crown season 3. Oh, might be a teaser to my recommendal next week.
Oh,
I love to do follow-up seasons when I don't have anything else.
mm-hmm.
And in one of the episodes, there's talk of ousting the prime minister, which apparently only the Queen has the leverage to do without needing the backing of the people. Like, she can say, yes, prime minister, you're out.
Really?
Bye-bye.
So then the ruling party just picks another person in its place? Is that how they do it?
Yes, exactly. I don't know if that is 100% still the case, if she still has that ability, but
Yeah, I
Zoe
don't know,
might be able
man.
to.
She could fill us in. Tell us how it works, Zoe.
Phyllis!
Philip!
Because he said she could fill us in.
Fill us in! Anyway, but they're they're young. There's a new generation, man. They're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
She's probably hasn't enjoyed this very much. I don't think Harry's ever really enjoyed it. So sure, get out there. They're not going to have any trouble, by the way. They'll be fine.
No, I mean, and they're not really going to experience, it's like, we just want to kind of move to the suburbs and make our own way. That's not going to happen.
No, they're not going to go, we can only afford a 1-bedroom flat and
right.
Not sure I can bring the dog. Yeah.
We both had to take 2 jobs each.
Yeah. But we're going to make it work. We're going to get out of debt and, he might go back to school. Thinking about being a paramedic or something. They're not doing any of those things that people do.
Right, exactly.
Philip! All right.
Yeah, there we go. Queen Elizabeth can sack Boris Johnson, according to this website.
Boris Johnson and his sack are not interesting.
Boris Johnson and his horrible hair.
All right, but in the times that's happened in the history of the Queen have been pretty rare, right? Like, I don't
know if it's ever happened. Actually, I'm trying to look and see if it's happened in any of the prime minister tenures.
I guess I don't get why that would even. Why do they? Is that just a token of like, well, we got to leave her with some power because then obviously this is just dumb and it's just all for pageantry. So instead, let's have it be 99.9% pageantry and 1%.
0.1% overseer.
Yeah. Something she can make a decision on. I mean, there is some Canadian thing though, right? Where if the Canadian Parliament is at a stalemate, she can break a tie or something, kind of like
probably. And I bet you that's the case with the UK as well. I bet she can do that.
No, it says. What do I know?
But I don't know what Og Mea is saying no to.
I don't know either, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Amazon Prime Minister. That might be our team name tonight. I like that. Amazon Prime Minister.
That's really good. Oh, you've got trivia tonight, do you?
We do, yeah. Did Puzzled Pint on Tuesday. Wasn't happy with that Puzzled Pint. I think they usually their games or their puzzles are all logic.
Yeah.
And knowledge. There was one puzzle where in order to solve it you had to take a leap of faith, and I don't like that leap of faith, guess and see if it follows through kind of thing.
Yeah, you need all logic for that stuff. No RNG, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Not
lame.
happy.
I wasn't even there and I agree with you. All right,
There
check
you go.
this out. We need to stop
yes.
we need to stop belching methane into the atmosphere, and so we found a way finally. Here's one way.
Okay, all right.
Turns out scientists have found that seaweed-fed sheep belch less methane. So you just got to give them a bunch of
really?
seaweed,
Feed 'em
and
seaweed.
they go,
Okay.
and then it's not as much. In North Ronaldsay, a remote island in the Orkney archipelago of Scotland's northern shore. That whole thing was a
Love all
mouthful.
those names. North Ronaldsay and Orkney. Orkney. My name is Orkney. I'm from Orkney.
Wow, you sound Australian, I would say to that guy.
I know, isn't that weird? That's the accent in Orkney. It sounds strangely Australian and grovelly, because that's where it comes from.
I love that.
If it ain't Scottish, it's crap.
It's crap.
I need my phrase that gets me into the right accent.
That's how you do it, right? That's how I do it.
Yeah.
If I need to pull one out that's like to me to get all British, it usually gets me there.
Right.
Right, one word even.
Exactly.
But yeah, Scottish.
Zoe
is
says
hard.
we definitely need an accent coaching session. We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Let's do it in Vegas.
Zoe,
Yeah.
it'll happen at a bar. We'll both have pints in front of us, pints of lager,
Yeah.
and you'll coach me on British accents.
Zoe, are you giving everybody plastic bacon again this year? Are we all gonna get like a little bacony bit? Remember that? She gave us.
I
bacon.
still have. I have 2 of them still.
Where's mine? I have a couple of them too. I don't know where they went. They were here. Oh, there you go. Look at Brian's. Look at that, chat.
There you go.
Those actually look like real sunglasses. Some kind of hipster meat glass.
Like I'm Audrey Hepburn.
Yep.
And Roman Holiday.
Yep.
No, I'm not a princess.
I'm not
I'm
a princess.
Yeah, these are wood, man.
Yeah, they were fancy.
I thought that these came from like a children's puzzle.
Oh, I don't know where she
I don't
got
know
them.
where she gets these. Do you have these? I wonder if she has them printed up or.
Yeah, where do you make them? Where do you get them? Do you forge them yourself in your own little wood shop? Do you have them done by somebody? Did you buy a big stack of them?
You know, this brings up a good question. At TMS Vegas, we do need to have our TMS challenge coins if we have one, correct?
I don't know if we're gonna have coins. We're gonna have something though.
No. I mean.
Oh, bring
if
that.
you have
Yeah.
a challenge coin, better bring it.
Bring it so we. Yeah, if you're gonna, I mean, you never know when a challenge will happen. Bring your coin.
Exactly.
I agree, dude. Totally agree.
Prepared, because if you don't have your challenge coin, you're buying me a drink.
There you go. These are the rules. Can't change
That's
them.
the rules.
Anyway, just feed your sheep seaweed is the point
Seaweed,
here.
Sure. Give them a nice nori roll and a little cucumber roll wrapped in nori.
And here's what happened. Long ago, this place, they built a flint wall to keep sheep close to the shore and away from the cows that are grazing on the land. Since then, the sheep have adapted well to beach life, and they only eat seaweed. Scientists have found they belch less methane as a result compared to all other sheep.
Interesting. So that's how they found out that seaweed would work.
Yeah, which is good because you've got a long history of them eating the stuff, and you can look at it compared to other groups and see. In a year, a cow produces about the same greenhouse effect as a car that burns 1,000 liters of gas. Good Lord. Is that true?
That is crazy.
A single cow. That's
Insane.
insane to me. Anyway, wow, we really like our beef.
and our lamb and our mutton.
all our mutton.
Yes.
Yeah, gotta love your mutton.
You gotta love your mutton.
So it's fairly evident how beneficial it would be to reduce livestock's carbon hoof print by altering their diet. So now they're talking about seeing if they can do this with other stuff, see if it's sustainable or not. Produce a bunch of seaweed, see if the stuff happens. I mean, if I eat a bunch of seaweed, like wet, gnarly seaweed, I'm gonna get more methane into the world. If you know what I'm saying. Like it's not going the other way.
Do you think that
for me it
like
would
if
be?
you go out and have sushi and stuff and it's got a lot of seaweed wrap, are you gonna do you find that you furt a little more?
Well, if it's big, wet, sloppy seaweed.
Where are you getting big, wet, sloppy seaweed? Don't go to that sushi restaurant anymore, Scott.
It's like a thing my brother will make. It's like a Korean thing, and it's like it's
Really?
almost like collard greens, kind of. You ever had good collard greens? It's a lot like that, but seaweed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what you need? I don't know if you've seen these. These are snacks you can get. I get them at Trader Joe's.
Oh yeah, the little sheets. Yeah,
Little
those are
sheets,
very good.
organic, roasted seaweed with sea salt. These are really good.
They are. Don't eat a whole package though.
You kind of have to. How do you not eat a whole package?
Well, last time I did, and it kind of gave me the Grumbly gut.
Serving size, 1 package. That's
Oh.
the serving size, Scott. This is the, which one is this? Oh, this is just regular, but I've had sesame and I've had garlic, I think.
Yeah, they make a bunch of
Where's
flavors.
the,
There's a bunch of flavors you can get.
There's a bunch of flavors you can get.
Yeah.
I can't find the, this doesn't have a UPC code. I can't scan it with my Weight Watchers app.
What?
Is that possible?
How is that
How
possible?
do they know how to charge
There's
me
different
for this?
flavors that you can get.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's because I bought them in a multi-package, just out of
Oh.
curiosity.
Oh.
I want to ask you, Weight Watchers,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Trader Joe's seaweed. Let me see here. Trader Joe's seaweed. All right, organic roasted seaweed with sea salt. That's exactly what this is. 1 package, 1 point. All this, 1 point.
Single point.
Boom, boom, chakalaka laka laka. That is,
And we're reducing your carbon footprint by belching less
Right.
methane.
I fart less when I have these.
That's right.
There's different flavors that you can get.
Great.
Get.
I miss that guy. I think he's still in prison, isn't he? Well, didn't he go to prison?
I forgot that he did go to prison.
Yeah,
yes,
he got in
exactly.
trouble for some child porn thing or
For child pornography on his computer
something
or something.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to work up at Weber State University. All right. Russia has clamping down.
Oh, All right. Climb down.
Speaking of accents.
Cutting out hassle. Eliminating hassle.
Actually, things are a little nuts over there. Did you hear the whole, the government resigned after Putin's trying to push something that would keep him in for life?
Oh, God, really?
And so it's
No, I haven't heard this.
something this morning. What was that about? Hold on. Putin was pushing for a constitutional resolution for their version of a constitution that would basically keep him in power until he's dead, which is that's a little tyrannical. It's a little
Dictatorship.
little on the dictator side of things, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, it's right here. Where is it? Now I can't find it. But yeah,
Don't give our guy any ideas, man.
Oh no, he already does that at his rallies and stuff. He'll say,
Yes.
how about another 12 years? And they're all like,
People are saying I'm better than Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, can you imagine?
can you imagine that? People
you
are saying
imagine?
it though. People are saying it.
People are saying it. And I flush the toilet 10 times more than he does.
He says he washes dishes 15 times over because there's not enough water pressure in your dishwasher.
Good Lord.
He said that yesterday. It's not a
Well,
thing.
You got to get the honey mustard sauce off the plate, I guess.
And he was going after fridges. There's something up his butt about that stuff, and every item he gets mad about and yells about, they're all things that I don't think he's ever actually used himself.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
He doesn't flush his own toilets or use his own refrigerator.
Garbage disposals. Have you heard about the garbage disposals? They don't spin as fast as they used to. We're trying to get them to spin faster. The EPA is trying to cut back on how the garbage disposals spin around.
You have really captured the stuff I hate the most about his the way he affects everything.
It's the Trump voice that I hate the most, which is the Trump splaining voice.
Yeah, I hate
That's how he talks to Melania.
Can
Right?
you believe it, man? That whole bleh. Ugh.
If you don't press the input button, we can't switch to the Blu-ray player.
I only married you for your money. I'm leaving.
Green card.
Green card.
Donald, I came for the green card. Be best, Donald.
Be best. Hashtag be best. All right. That was fun.
That was fun.
All right. Anyway, Russia says no
Oh
more.
yeah, Russia. We love it when we never make it past the headline.
No fat cats allowed on planes anymore in the plane cabin.
Oh no!
yeah.
Actual cats, or are they just cracking down on
Those fat
really
cats in Washington.
wealthy individuals?
No more room for you fat cats. No, actual felines. Russia's will not set uniform size and weight rules for flying pets after will not do that after an overweight cat snuck into a plane's cabin and captured the nation's heart. The Transportation Ministry has said in a letter cited by the pro-Kremlin Izvestia newspaper. I don't know what that is. Anyway,
Izvestia.
Russian Union of Passengers asked for the ministry to set the rules for after national flag carrier Aeroflot stripped a frequent flyer of his miles for
Come on, man. It's Aeroflot.
Aeroflot, sorry.
Aeroflot. Would you like to take a flat? Where would you like to flat to
Where
today?
would you like to go flatting? Get on plane.
Take a flat.
You've got frequent flatter miles. Use them. Spend them on Mother Russia. Anyway, it says they were going to take away these miles for sneaking his fat, freaking overweight cat onto the flight. It says pet owners should also be allowed to pay an extra fee for overweight animals, according to the union's head. Transportation Ministry deems it inappropriate to set a uniform animal transportation requirement. Pet owners will thus have to consult each airline guidelines before they bring on their animals.
This seems like a really good investment of their time. I don't think there are any other problems in Russia that no pun intended, weigh heavier on the minds of Russians than overweight cats getting onto planes.
You know, things like the entire government resigning.
Right, exactly.
Like even the transportation ministry. Is anyone working today? Like, don't even know what's going on there. All right. Here's a good one.
Okay.
Is there video of this? Hold on.
I want to see it too, right?
Yeah.
I want there to be a Attenborough narration to go along with it.
I just
if there
realized.
isn't, then we need to provide our own.
Yeah. It looks like they didn't. Unless this is the video. This can't be the video though. Is
Yeah,
it?
it looks like an ad at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just a. Oh, and then it's some Pelosi thing. I don't care about that. All right, so here's the story. A Komodo dragon, you know, the big old lizards.
Yeah.
Huge. It destroyed a BBC camera by trying to have sex with it. Because those are hot, those cameras. Oh, man. They get you going, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think 3 people on Big Brother were kicked off the show for doing that.
Yeah, because those cameras, it's not fair to have those around when you're a young,
no.
you know, a virile male.
Oh, my God. This video at the very bottom shows a Komodo dragon wearing a turtle's shell, like he's eating a turtle shell coming out of the water, but you don't see the Komodo dragon's head because the turtle shell is...
Oh, it's
his head
inside.
is completely inside the shell.
Like a dog would do with like a bucket or something.
Right. A popcorn bag. Yes, exactly.
What? Oh, I feel bad for this turtle.
It's long gone for that.
Oh gosh. I wish that then the video they should have had a video come up of Mitch McConnell because he looks like a turtle.
And then the Komodo dragon shakes off the turtle's shell and says, think I had a spider.
Oh well, and then just eats the turtle again like I did.
And then just eats the turtle again. Yeah, goes back
Sounds
to
right.
the turtle.
I hate it when turtles die. They don't hurt anybody really, do they?
Right, I know. No, the saddest thing is those videos that WoW game was based on, with the sea turtles crawling out of the sandy beach thing where their eggs were laid, and then trying to get to the water. And
a turtle has made it to the water.
Turtle has made it to the water.
Nature can be cruel. Anyway, so
I do like the fact that they turned that game around. Now you have to try and get rid of the turtles.
I
But
know
anyway.
the fact that they switched that around is pretty great, but I kind of hate all of those. I hate those mini games. I just can't stand them. I can do them once or twice. The third time, you're like, all right, I never want to do this again.
Boy, are you gonna hate the process of getting your cloak in Visions of N'Zoth.
Great. Looking forward to it. A Komodo dragon. Oh, I said, okay. State-of-the-art equipment was hidden inside both of a life-size imitation of a female Komodo. Oh, well, that's why. The camera was made to look like a lady Komodo dragon and a fake pig.
Right.
And they put it around these giant lizards and started filming this new series called Spy in the Wild 2, narrated by David Tennant. And then, according to the Sun newspaper, executive producer John Downer. He's a real downer, dude.
Yeah. Well, male dragons began trying to mate with the imitation lizard, and womp womp. Like, that'd be great if every time John Downer said something, you'd get the sad trombone sound.
Mm-hmm. The camera says it's going to keep the baby, and hopes the dragon will consider supporting it and helping raise the child.
Lots of BBC cameras never even find love.
Yeah. Mwah, mwah. I'm John Downer. Anyway, they what they do is they take their massive claws and they rake at the skin of the female. This is what they do in real life, right? They just go get really into it, and then there's nothing you can do because you can't intervene. So it destroyed the camera, and there you go.
Crazy.
Yeah. So well done. Yeah. In their words, in John Downer's words, they annihilated the camera.
Whoa.
Yeah, annihilation.
He was vigorous.
Yeah, that's a real downer.
You haven't watched Zorro, Mask of Zorro yet.
Not yet. Tonight, maybe tomorrow night. But I will.
He was vigorous.
Oh my lord. Is that movie any good?
It has its moments, but I'm amazed that there was so much slapsticky Zorro crap in it.
Is it film sacky?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's great for film.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just making sure it's not a veto. We haven't used our veto powers in 2020 yet. So.
We have not, but there's only been 2 episodes in 2020.
Yeah, or maybe even just the one. Oh no, we didn't.
Maybe even just.
We did one. Wait.
New Year's Evil was before, right? Or was that?
Oh
after?
yeah. No, you're right. Our last one was the first one. So yeah, we didn't veto our first movie of 2020.
Yes, right.
And I'm glad we didn't because that was a very funny episode. We're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister, Wendy, the therapist, will be here. We're going to do Therapy Thursday. It's been forever since we've had her on. The holidays really goofed up schedules there, but we'll have her back. We got an interesting one to talk about, and we'll do it all, but we can't until we hear a song. Brian, what's our song?
Sure. Well, In Vogue Records sent me this one. Big thanks. This is the band Assuming We Survive. Love this. They're from Southern California. They're actually about to go out on tour supporting the band The Classic Crime. The tour starts January 31st, goes for 2 weeks. You can go check them out. This is great stuff. This is a song from their most recent EP called The Enemy Within. And what's great about this is that it's got a modern, it feels current, right? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that I play here, but it's got a little bit of Panic at the Disco in it, which I really like, that kind of theatrical, bombastic kind of sound. The song is called Too Close. Here is Assuming We Survive.
But I never get to bond with Bobby on account of he's not good at much.
Dangling ball sack. Dangling ball sack.
The hottest club is Pzuzh. They have midgets and lightning bolts coming out of fire hydrants.
Thank you, Scott Fletcher.
Can someone check on him real quick, make sure he's okay?
Reboot him. Reboot Fletcher. Hashtag. All right.
Or rebloot him. That's
Rebloot. Rebluto.
Rebluto.
That's
okay.
Yep. You do that, and I go.
We'll catch the hearts that Lois is sending from the top of the game down to the bottom of the game.
That's right. And I'm gonna wait, Lois. No, you mean
not Lois. I meant Olive Lois. You know what? I've been watching that Crisis on Infinite Earths, which has a lot of Superman and Lois in it.
Yeah.
Lois.
How is I heard the movie Flash showed up. Is that true?
Yes.
How was that?
Ezra Miller, is that his name?
I think
showed
so.
up, and they had kind of the Spider-Man
pointing at each other thing. I love that.
that kind of moment in there. It was good. It was actually a really well done scene.
Huh. That's awesome. Wendy, you there?
Your Barry Allen.
Barry album. Oh, hi. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh,
that was
good.
beyond
Your hi didn't sound like you. It sounded like somebody else. That was weird.
Right.
I know. I was trying to mimic Brian's voice and see if you guys knew I was there.
Oh.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good work on
Good
that.
luck with that.
We may as well play this.
Something wrong, Batman? Has anybody seen Wendy?
Barnacles in a wad.
It's been a while. It's been like
It has been a while.
since Christmas, right? Has it?
Yeah, before Christmas, the week
Oh
before
my
Christmas.
gosh, that's insane.
Wow.
You've gotten a dog since then. How's this dog of yours? How's that
he's
going?
So cute. And he
Yeah.
always sleeps on his back. Is that a sign that you're just happy?
Yeah,
He
probably.
sleeps on your back?
Yeah, that they feel safe for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like belly up, and he's like, no one's gonna slit this with a.
So, well,
Doing that?
people have been asking what brand of dog. See, this is Wendy. See,
Brian
everyone
got
thinks
it.
I'm the psycho. Wendy thinks about this stuff too, you know. She thinks about
I
this
do.
stuff too.
I know.
I don't think about it. Yes, I do. You're right. He's so cute. So, okay, we don't know because he's a rescue,
Yeah.
but his brother was like a very scruffy black, kind of grayish color.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They both have short hair.
Mm-hmm.
But his brother really looks nothing like a beagle. So here's what we're thinking, because it's from Hazard County, Kentucky,
Well,
that
sweet.
it's probably beagle hound something, right? Because beagle's a hound.
It's a kind of
Oh,
hound.
sure.
Family.
All dogs from Hazard County are hounds. I know what you're saying. Sure.
I know. I got some really stereotype ideas about his home life.
Yeah.
He's Bo and Luke Duke Hazard, and he
Yep.
is
But with
got
Luke Duke.
opioids in the system.
Oh,
That's
what'd you end
terrible.
up
That's
calling
so
him? What'd you
terrible.
call this dog? I forgot the name.
Well, here's the problem. Okay, so we think real quick. We think he's a half beagle and half terrier,
Human.
because if you Google what that looks like, it looks just like him.
Hmm.
Like the face is a little slimmer,
Yeah.
Really?
and that dude is digging up all my carpet. And terriers are diggers, so I think.
Yeah, a little bit of
Oh,
a
okay.
terrier in there.
Like the little black and brown scruffy
Here, Brian, I'm putting an image in your in our Discord.
in our
So-
Discord. Okay.
Yeah,
You
he's
can do the picture I sent you, Scott,
Yeah.
from that one.
yeah, that's the one. He's so cute. He's
He
just
is so cute.
he's adorbs, and I want him.
and he always models like he just will. Stick
Oh
his
my
head
God,
out.
he's adorable.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
isn't he cute?
he's way more beagle there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's yeah.
Yeah, I would say
so-
just seeing him sight unseen or just a photo, I would say, oh, you got a beagle. That's what I'd say.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't-
But if you look at a beagle, they have a broader top of their head, and their coloring is usually lighter than this.
Mm,
And his is like black for sure.
sure. Well,
But he is a very, he's so sweet and so cute. But he'll like just turn around, like he'll be a little naughty, and then he poses, and everyone melts.
yeah, of
It's
course. Yeah,
They know
he's-
what they're doing.
They're
Yeah.
bred
Oh
to
my
do
God.
this. Yeah,
He's so cute.
This is
I
their
know,
whole-
domesticated wolves. Look at us. Look where we've come.
basically. But
Yeah,
that's
he's
great.
amazing.
I'm happy, and obviously the kids are probably loving this dog, right? Like they're freaking
Yes,
out.
it's so cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
Now
all
you get it. You
everybody.
get it. See?
Except, I'll tell you what, I didn't, maybe I need some therapy about this, but it's like a little bit PTSD inducing because of having children.
Yeah.
Like the dread of the night, like, will they sleep?
Mhm.
Or the,
Oh right.
and the just
What are they?
pooping,
What are they
you
gonna get
know?
into? What are they gonna chew
Yes.
on?
And
Yeah.
and I mean, the first 3 days, I was just like a nervous wreck that I wasn't doing it right, or he was gonna get hurt or eat something poisonous. I don't know, just all this stuff, you know. And I was like, this is so familiar.
That sounds
Oh
like
my
first.
gosh.
Yeah, that's first baby night stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough. Anyway, we're much better. He sleeps all night now. He's pretty, flawless with bathroom outside, but
Do you have him
so
kennel?
it's much better,
Is
much
he
faster than an actual baby.
is he kenneled? You do kennel training on him, or
And he's crate trained,
Oh, yeah, that's
and
the best.
he's really great. He's a great dog, but
Oh, that's awesome.
he obviously we need a little more training because that dude grabs a thing and runs away, and I can't get it back.
Yeah.
So there's that.
He'll probably pay. Is he playing catch yet? Because dogs like that love catch. They love chasing balls.
But he does all right with cold. I mean, it was 1 degree this morning.
Oh, geez. I
Yeah.
thought we were cold. It was 26 today, and I was like, oh, I don't like it. It's cold outside.
Yeah, we've had a dip, and it's going to warm up and snow a ton tomorrow. But my friend in Florida is like, do you realize we have literally 80-degree difference between our two places?
Jeez.
I was like, yeah, shut up.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
but he does okay with the snow. Oh, by the way, let me tell you this: his name. So his given name. He was Timmy and Tommy when they were rescued, and they called him Tommy. So we brought him home. The whole family decided, okay, let's do rank choice voting, and it went from, Watson and a bunch of weird Swedish names, and everyone could sort of agree on Jack. So we get him home. No one has called him Jack even once.
What do they?
What do they call him?
Yeah, what do they
We
call
call
him?
him Tommy.
Tommy, really?
Using
Yeah.
his given name.
So we're just, and then Peter, of course, just calls him Tommy Boy. So constantly we're hearing about Tommy Boy, and that's of course not who we named him after.
That's all right. We nicknamed his Boomer, and now everyone says "Okay, Boomer" all day, and it's just the
Oh,
worst.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Cute.
but I think Tommy's a cute name for a dog.
It is cute.
Yeah.
And then the neighbor kid meets him for the first time. He's like, his name's Tom Tom. So nicknames are coming.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
just, I feel like I didn't get a Chance, but I can't seem to change a name on a dog. I know that sounds stupid.
I know it is. It's
AK,
I know.
he answers to Tommy, so it's hard to.
That's the
Sure.
thing. I mean,
Switch it
once
up.
they start knowing that that's their name, it really confuses them to hear a different name.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Buford or whatever.
Buford.
Oh, that's a great name.
I love that name.
Buford. that might have been a nickname in Hazard County.
You were banding around the idea of using Keith in your text to me. Does that not take
Keith
any?
or Bruce. Adam and I thought Bruce would be really funny.
Bruce is good.
Yeah.
I love
But,
I love common names for
Bruce the
animals.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, that's awesome. I'm sure the kids just love him, and
Yeah,
it's a life-altering experience, which is
It really is, and I'm like, how will I ever travel again? Someone tell me how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
It really is
Yeah,
like having
right.
a newborn. It's
Here's what you
It's
do.
fun.
You find somebody who, well, we use Sarah a lot, but somebody you really trust who's got a little bit of space and is happy to take a dog for a few days when you got to travel somewhere. It'll be fine. I don't like kennels because I don't know. I just feel Rainer loses her mind there. She needs special attention. He may not be as picky, but
no, he's pretty chill.
want to leave him with good people. Anyway, all right. Well, good catching up. That's all great. Dogs are great. What else is great is Therapy Thursday, where we have Wendy, my sister, come in here with her vast knowledge of all things psychological. She's an actual therapist, helps people with real problems all the time, comes on the show, and we talk about some of those real problems that you guys have submitted, and we have one today. This one came in, and I knew we were going to do it the minute I saw the subject. It said, Therapy Thursdays, I hate social touching. And I thought, that's an interesting topic we've never really talked about before. And it's made me think about me and why I like to be... When I'm in... Well, let me read the email, then I'll tell you what I like, all right? And then you can tell me why that is, because I don't actually have an answer. So here we go.
Tell us what you like.
Dear Wendy, Scooch, and Bri. You're Bri today, Brian.
I'll take it.
Says, I have a thing that has bothered me my entire life, but it has worsened as of late. It used to be a quirk, but has escalated into a real problem. I hate social touching. I'm a straight male, age 40, with a wife and 2 kids. I have a good, privileged life, for which I am grateful. I run my own business, and it does okay. I have a good relationship with my wife and my 2 kids, and I'm in decent shape, so it feels somehow wrong to complain or to have an issue, but I thought this might be something that I could ask you about since it's starting to interfere with my life, both social and business. I like that disclaimer, by the way. I like when people acknowledge kind of where they're at before they get into their thing. But anyway, something about that. I don't like to be touched socially. I don't like hugging friends. I don't like it when other guys try to be all bro-y and punch me on the shoulder, grab my shoulder, or even, or when drunk try to wrestle or give purple nurples. Yes, he says, yes, I have 40-year-old friends who still do these things, he says.
Wow.
He says, it's not germophobia or another irrational fear. I just don't like it. I have no problem with shaking hands or even the bro shake into a quick one-armed hug as long as it's quick. But I hate massages. I hate when women who are not my wife put a hand on my arm or shoulder, etc. But I do like to cuddle with my wife, and we are comfortable being affectionate with each other and our kids. I hug my kids daily. And we cuddle to watch movies on the sofa. I wrestle with both my son and daughter, and we have no issue. I am fine with those people within my immediate household, but no further. Outside our little team, I get cold sweats and actively avoid social events where I know certain touchy-feely friends will be.
Wow.
Yeah, this is great. I recently pulled a back muscle and had to have a kind of massage therapy / physio rehab treatment, and it was awful. I started skipping appointments and lying about going until the clinic called and my wife realized I hadn't been going. So what can I do? And please don't recommend immersion therapy, LOL. Sincerely, don't touch me was the name.
I think he means
conversion
therapy. No, I'm just kidding. Immersion therapy. Does he mean like it's just
going into a room and having 1,000 people hug him?
He means exposure therapy is what he's talking about.
Exposure therapy.
Gotcha,
But immersion is better. Like we immerse him in just a body of bodies. And
Yeah.
I
kind of like that too. Yeah, just a bunch of bodies in a pool. Blah. I don't even want that.
Zardoz.
So what I was going to say earlier, now that we've got the context of the email, I'm the opposite of this. I'm not running around asking for it, but it's reassuring to me when I'm in public, and let's say it's even with like somebody I barely know. Part of my trust relationship is if they slap me on the arm while they're shaking my hand, I go, oh, that's better. That's better than just shaking my hand. That means there's more trust here than there would have been.
Affection, right? Exactly. It's like,
or
you like me, you really like me.
A pat on the back, or I see Kim's sister at a social thing, and she'll smack me on the back of the head, and I see that as a playful reminder that, oh yeah, that's right, we have a good relationship, we can laugh with each other and have fun, and to me those are all signs of like, these are good interactions with people that I don't know as well as I would say my immediate team, as he put it. So what's the why is he feeling this way, and why does somebody like me feel the other way? And is it just no big deal and he shouldn't worry about it? Like I've never actually heard of anybody who's this averse to it. That wasn't tied to like, oh, I don't want your germs, or I don't want to get sick, or
right.
whatever.
Well, I think there's, first of all, let's point out some good things here. Like, this is not some clinical disorder. He, in the sense of, his team, he can hug all day and cuddle, and so it is not a touch aversion in the sense of something that he's got to run out and get some treatment for right away, right?
All right.
It's fine. But what it sounds like is happening, and he's writing because it's becoming more concerning, is who cares, right? This is not a big deal. He just doesn't like when people touch him.
You can get through life without.
Yeah. And everyone's got a different touch tolerance and sensitivity, and some of that is like how you're raised. Okay, I was raised with maybe a little less affection or too much, and I have my own individual response to that. None of that seems problematic. The place where it's potentially problematic, and why he's writing about it, is that it's increasing a little bit. Did he say how old he was?
Yeah, 40. Hold on, where is it? Age 40, just 40. Yeah.
40. Okay. So, which might play some role in this a little bit. Like, I call it the magic of the 40s, where you just start to not care as much about what other people think. And communication is a lot of things. I mean, it's something like 60% is actually body language. The words you say are maybe 20. The tone of voice is another 10,
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of information we get a lot of information from each other based on our way we stand, how our eye contact, and this added touch in a social situation is to extend warmth and security, or whatever it's choosing to extend, right? So Scott, you feel it because you're picking up on the energy of a little more physical touch than just standing there with our hands down, or a simple handshake is familiarity, right? And like safety, closeness, warmth.
Right.
And so you're perceiving it as such. And it's possible that at 40, you prior to that, you've kind of never been into it. You've put up with it because the social norms dictate to put up with it. It's just not your favorite. But as some of that is sloughing off in your magic 40s, you're just a little less like, ugh, I don't want to deal. I don't want to pretend that it's fine. I don't,
I have noticed, so that's an interesting point. And over the last decade or so, I have definitely inched well over into the space of I don't care as much, and I don't have time to be bothered with things that used to worry me. Like if somebody doesn't like me now, I'm just like, I can't help you. Go somewhere else, I guess.
Right.
Like, and it used to be I would really just, oh no, why don't they like me? What can I do to fix this? Why can't I make every single person like me? And I don't have that anymore. So I've definitely, what you're saying about I think people in their 40s, I think is an accurate thing. But that hasn't affected like if I go to an event, we're going to Vegas in when are we going? March, and we're gonna see a bunch of TMS folks there and stuff. And when I do, there's going to be hugs and high fives and handshakes, and people are going to be sweaty. And it's all that stuff, and it's going to be great. Like I don't fear it, I don't dread it, I see it as like an affirmation of, yeah, we're all in this. This is cool. You guys are great. Like, even though maybe this will be the first time I see him and the only time I ever see him, I don't know. So that part is great. But if one of them said to me, I don't hug, maybe in the past I'd go, oh, why don't they hug? What have I done? Is it me? But now I go, oh, okay, no problem. Just move on. I got other stuff to do. So
it's a combination of you sort of getting comfortable in your own skin and knowing what you like and are good with, and then respecting that that's other people have done that as well, and you just give them the space to do that, right? And so that kind of leads to his, is this problematic, or is the story he is beginning to tell him myself about this going to make it problematic.
Mm-mm.
So, for example, it's like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. And then suddenly I'm not doing social events so that I can avoid this person because I know they're going to slap me on the back.
And that's where it becomes problematic, is when it impacts your life, or with the massage therapy that he needs, like freaking out about getting massage a therapeutic massage that's going to help him.
Is he by chance in the chat room? Because I have a question.
Nobody has taken credit.
Okay.
And the name is anonymous. Literally signed it. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. So don't reach out and touch him.
Yeah.
Well, because my question would be this, and maybe we can just guess on this. But I would love to know what he's thinking during the massage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I avoid massages because, first of all, I need one every day because I have so much neck strain and whatever. Anyway, so I would love to have one every day. But the reason I don't do them is because I cannot have someone touching me without me knowing who they are. So I spend the whole hour asking them. I do therapy for an hour, and it's not relaxing.
I have this exact same thing with massages. That's so funny because I do the same thing. I have to talk the whole time.
Like
I have to talk.
Pedicure, I will know every single thing about that person.
Yeah.
And so if they don't speak English and I don't speak whatever they speak, it is torture for me.
Like, you're supposed to go to these massage therapists. You're supposed to lay there with your face in the hole and just chill and take it. Yeah. And instead, I go in there and I'm like a dentist who doesn't shut up while there's stuff in your mouth.
Hey, just wondering how you're doing, and do you like this job? And like, what else do you do? And I need to know more about you.
I don't know why.
And what you're describing could be the case, because he's fine with getting touched by his wife, but the closeness, the interaction with his family, but it's outside that family, people that he doesn't know or doesn't know as well. I mean, even his 40-year-old immature doofus friends that like to wrestle and give purple nurples.
Yeah.
I think you need a new crowd.
Yeah, you might need some new friends.
I know, right? If you're getting purple nurpled by a friend for 30 years, like, you should get sick of that. That would be, I would avoid that maybe as well. And so maybe there's a little of, I think it's normal. It's just touch tolerance. There's nothing wrong with him. There would be an interesting, so my question would be, what does he do in his head during the massage? Mm-hmm. And what is the story that's going on? My story is pretty dysfunctional. If I need therapeutic massage, for me to go, well, I need to know everything about the person. I mean, that's stupid, but that's the story, and I can't stop myself. So I would need duct tape. Like, there's no way I could do it. I don't do it well. I'm going to try once again in my life. I don't know. Anyway, I might have to be high. I don't think it's going to work. But here's the thing.
Come to Vegas.
So everyone's going to be different, but also, if I need massage, I'm going to have to figure out a way. Well, it sounds like he needs to have some social interaction, and he needs to manage the story a little bit. So this would lead to a question I would ask about when he was younger. Just generally growing up, what was touch in his life, right? Was there spanking? Was there lots of hugs between family members? Was there, so Scott, I think one of the reasons you're very comfortable with it is we grew up as a hugging family. Mm-hmm. So you hug when we all go to dinner, and then we all hug when we leave. And so there's a lot of hugging. And so I think you just learn to get used to that. I'm sure when Okna moved into the family, she was like, these Americans are freaks. Why do they always want to hug me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you adjust because the norms sort of dictate that. And when you're a kid, it's a good way to set the set point, right? If there's not a lot of physical affection, you tend to not be comfortable with that later.
And that's kind of where I was growing up. We grew up in not a very physical family, not a lot of hugging, not a lot of, hand holding, stuff like that. And so it was it was kind of a shock with girlfriends and things like that, when I'd kind of like be nervous about them just putting their arms around me or things like that. And something I had to get by and get over. And now I can't get enough of it.
You can't get enough.
Can't stop it.
Oknan got better at it. Like, she's weird now in the other way. Like, I'll come into a family gathering before I've had a chance to say hello to anybody. If Oknan's there, she's up hugging me. And so
up in your grill.
She's really she has acclimated quite well, I think.
Well, and think of just social nerves, right? Like, even the most extroverted person is gonna maybe not always want to go out and do something with a group, right? Like it's possible that there's ebbs and flows to various things. And so some of it might be just the extrovertedness that's required for some of this interaction. And touch is one example of it. And touch is like, it's in your space. And we all have just sort of different spatial bubbles around us, right? Everyone knows a close talker, right? Their perception of the bubble is different than yours.
And if you don't know a close talker, chances are you're the close talker.
Right. And your tolerance for other people. And this is where we get to, we turn into grumpy old men or really, really angry old ladies or whatever, is that I think it starts in your 40s. You start to tend in a certain direction. And so, you may have to force yourself to do some things. And when he says immersion therapy, he means exposure therapy.
It's like leaning into it, right?
I'm going to give you a little assignment with exposure therapy.
Oh, I love it. I love that you're going to give him the thing he actually means, but even though he doesn't want
it. The thing he thought he was asking not to have. Yes.
Yeah. Because if he had written it right, I wouldn't do it.
Right. The fact that he didn't do his homework and get this right. Now he's stuck.
I'm just kidding. But here's the thing. He's already doing it all the time.
Yeah.
He's already exposed to the people in work and life and, whatever. But what I want him to do is prepare himself to go to an event where he knows someone's going to bro hug him, and to do his best to, instead of tensing and fretting and it's coming, to just make the first move. So he would go to a party. He knows his purple nurple friend is there. And I mean, you throw the whole dynamic off by you go in for the hug. He's like, whoa, dude, what's up?
Wow.
So just force yourself to touch the person first.
This seems like it'd be so difficult based on what he said in his
100%.
email.
Yeah. And this is why this type of therapy works, is that the story, the emotion, the whole sequence of events builds up to make it harder and harder to have your normal social interactions when touch is involved. This is the same with germs. This is the same with, going to the dentist. All the things we tense up, we hold our breath, and we make everything worse in our minds because we're not enjoying whatever has happened in the past, right?
Yeah.
And that is now the new story. So now every social interaction he goes into, he's got this building sense of, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Well, who willingly goes and does something they hate? Nobody. So you have to loosen the hate. You have to loosen the grip. And it's not solid yet. You're not a recluse. Your kids haven't moved out and your wife has passed away and you refuse to have anyone talk to you.
Right.
There's still a chance for you.
Time.
Yeah, there's still time.
But the idea being, you don't want any storyline to grip you. You don't want any storyline to dictate what you get to do and what you don't get to do. And that's what this is. So all we're doing is keeping it a little looser. It's not big. You don't have to become a hugger. You don't have to become, whatever. You just need to not keep going in a direction where you become less and less willing to be near humans.
Yeah.
And so the way to do that is to force yourself to have a couple experiences and rewrite the story or keep the story at a minimum, calm it down. So one great way is to go hug first. Yeah, instigate.
Right.
And especially
Make
if there's
the
a
first
particular
move.
Yeah, and you know what'll happen? It'll throw them off so hardcore. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. Especially if they already, for people that already know him, let's say, I don't know, it's like a cousin or something. They know that dude never hugs me or that guy never shakes my hand or whatever it is. And then if you suddenly do, they're going to be, they're going to be a little bit floored. But like this seems, Wendy's homework is just do the hard thing, like headlong into the thing you're afraid of sort of thing. But this makes sense to me because what other option is there? It's either this or you recede further.
And it feels like doing this is probably the quickest solution, right? It's not like a gradual, all right, out of every 10 people you meet, hug one of them. If they hug you first, hug them back. But this is like nope, as soon as you see them, you give them a big old hug and it'll probably, you're probably right. Like after one or two of these, it's like, all right, I'm okay with
and
this.
You're choosing who you're choosing. And that's part of what happens when you didn't invite the touch. I mean, the perfect thing I'm picturing is, remember when George Bush gave Merkel a massage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That is where that image of that is a perfect example of like, I didn't invite that. Zero consent was given. What are you doing?
You're saying that's bad.
You're saying it's bad is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
although, by the way, I would take that controversy these days. That would be fine.
Oh, I know.
That would be what a delightful, innocent time it was when he was.
What a quaint time we were. When our president was puking on the Japanese prime minister.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Was that him or his dad? That was his dad, wasn't it?
That was his dad.
That was his dad.
Yeah.
And okay, so but that reaction, that is a person who's unexpectedly going to have something happen they had no consent over out of nowhere, right? And that's what this maybe starts to feel like for this guy. Like, these people are just going to touch me and I didn't even say that was okay. And, hey, we're all working on teaching children consent these days, so maybe it'll change in the future. But there is this, it's a sign of affection for most people. So you got to, first of all, recognize their intent is typically affection and cluelessness is a combo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it works for them all the time. It's just not going to work with you, and they don't know it. So maybe a little like, okay, no one's trying to get me, right? But then also recognizing, like, if you go in knowing and prepare yourself and you're the one that makes the first move, you set the terms, right? You can always say to people, please don't touch me. But we all know socially, like, that doesn't go over well.
No.
So that's the pressure, right?
Yeah. Can
And
you,
you
I
can
mean,
just
if
be
you said,
funny
please
about
don't touch me, there's an immediate sense of, oh my gosh,
Did I just
the worst line has been crossed.
Exactly.
This relationship can never be the same. Yeah.
Right.
So if you start the engagement and you set the rules by how you do it, I mean, and play around with it. I mean, notice this isn't like this dead serious homework. It's mess with this a little bit just so that story doesn't solidify itself. Do it with people that you already know and are friends with. Go, you purple nurple first, whatever you got to do. But thinking in terms of you're playing with the story in your head a little bit and your behavior a little bit, rather than buckling down into grumpy old man zone, because it's easy to do because you're heading there. 40 is like, oh, I don't care what that lady thinks if I flip her arm away from me. You start to do it. You start to just
look at the Pope.
Yeah, look at the Pope. Do you see that thing? That was awesome.
Pope Smackdown. Yeah,
that was
like,
I mean,
don't touch me.
Not awesome, but awesome
Grab
in a
me.
way.
Yeah.
And it is also because this particular Pope looks like the one who's playing him in that Two Popes movie.
Yes.
So to me, it just looks like it's him doing
Totally
it.
looks like Jonathan Price or Anthony Hopkins. Yeah,
Whichever one he is. I think it's Anthony or the Price guy. But anyway,
Price,
so let me ask you this. Is there a way for him to change his mindset when something like this happens? So I was at the doctor's the other day, and I was getting a blood test. That turned out really good, by the way. I haven't told Wendy about it. But anyway, turns out 3 months of not eating sugar will actually make a difference in your blood sugar. Weird, right? Anyway,
Not
so
weird.
I mean, what a shocker. But anyways,
It's called science.
it is science. So I was going back to get the labs done, and this girl was there, and she looked at me and she goes, now it says here we're doing, and I can't remember what she said. She says, we're doing this. And I said, no, I think it's an A1C test. And she goes, oh my gosh, I've got the wrong paper. And she reaches over and she just touches my forearm, right? Just like a quick little, and kind of like, oh, my bad, that kind of thing, kind of bowed a little bit, touched my forearm and said, yeah, I've got the wrong paperwork. Hold on one second. I think she even called me honey. She's an older lady. Ran over around the back, got the right thing, and then said, okay, we've got you. Come over here and have a seat. That interaction, my response to it was, oh, she's human, and this is and it's okay that she goofed up, and it's not a big deal. Had she not done that, had she not been that way, I would have gone, well, can you guys get your crap straight back here? This is kind of an important thing for, you know what I mean? Like all of that.
Yeah.
Instead, what I was left with is this affable, and she's not doing it she's not planning it. It was just an instinctual thing for her. You feel that intrinsically. This is just her doing this, right? And it's how she interacts with people. And my trust goes up. My sense of we're all in this together goes up. Like it actually works. I'm sure there's some limit to that. I'm sure at some point, if someone just does nothing but screw up, but all they do is just put their hand on your arm and say, oh, silly me, eventually that's going to, you're going to see signs of what we should probably not have them in this job. I understand that. There are limits, but in this particular case, everything went better as a result. Now, I'm thinking if he goes in there and they do that, that is not his experience. Even if he doesn't say anything, he feels like, ugh, why did you touch me? And is there a way for him to, can the homework be the next time that happens to respond differently, or to, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Right, or perceive it as what it's intended.
Right.
And some of this, I mean, this has me thinking a little bit about autism, or, sort of high functioning autism, where it's really hard to pick up the cues. And I'm not saying this guy, that's the problem at all, but there is this sort of the training one has to go through to understand what someone's intentions are based on their facial expressions and their body movements. That's part of the challenge of having a different functioning brain in that way, is it doesn't pick up those cues. It doesn't translate into the message that was intended, right? And so some of it is recognizing the source. Okay, so the source is that's good intention. Her face is smiling. This is supposed to be warm, and help working with it, right? And his body is just reacting. This isn't his mind. I mean, he probably can say, well, I know she's trying to be warm and connect with me. Like, he can intellectually get it, yeah. But his body response is like, it doesn't do it. That's not what makes him feel more comfortable. And so maybe a little bit of just training his brain to think about it differently. Like, instead of, oh my gosh, I hate this. I'm never coming to this nurse again, and she touched me. There's a story you insert of like, oh, that's affection and warmth, and she's probably a grandmother or a mother. And that's, I mean, I coach basketball, and I can't help, we're in like the circle, and I'm like touching a kid's back, just have my hand on his shoulder, and I'm like, that's not my kid. And I have to like put my hand down because I'm thinking it's maybe Elliot in front of me, and it's not. It's another kid who's the same size. And the kids don't react at all because they're used to their moms doing that, or, but I shouldn't. I should manage my affectionate whatever, because it just comes naturally, because I'm like, we're a team and buddies and high-fiving and whatever. But it's because I'm a mom. If I was not a mom, I guarantee you I would not be having my hand on some kid's back. That's not
right.
And it give me a 20-year-old, I'm not going to touch their back because I've never had a 20-year-old son. I learn as I go, right?
Yeah.
But even now, babies, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I want to touch your baby because I forgot how. But give me your 8-year-old or your dog.
Yeah, your dog.
Now I'm into dog touch. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway, but a little bit of just like having an awareness. Like for most people, they don't have to think about this. For someone who's on the spectrum, who's really trying to navigate human communication, this is one of the things you're trained in understanding, that it's not an attack when someone touches your arm. And in his case, he's having maybe just needs a lot less touch. That doesn't really do it for him. But maybe he is not able to get the perception of what the person is actually doing. And maybe intellectually, yes, but physiologically that just is not working. And that's okay. But to sort of explore all those angles and not let it grow in the wrong direction, right? Just even an understanding sometimes can stop something from getting worse. And so, a little experimenting is all I'm asking.
Sure.
Just, purple nurple a stranger, see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got the first person you see at Walmart, big old purple nurple. see how that ends up for you. I think that'll go great.
That is a terrible idea.
Yeah, it is a bad idea. And by the way, I hope his massages aren't to clear up those purple nurples he gets from his friends.
Oh, yeah.
That would be no good.
So that should be our homework, Scott. You and I have to go get a massage, and we can't talk.
I know. You know what? And here's my other problem. This is probably a whole nother show. I can't have a dude do it. I'm not homophobic. I don't have a problem with dudes. Dudes are great. Love dudes. Can't have him give me a massage while I am naked under a blanket. I just can't do it. No, you know what it is? It's not that I can't do it. It's that I can't relax. I just can't. Yeah. I'm not George Costanza. I'm not sitting there going, I think it moved, or any of that crap. I just cannot do a man giving me a massage. No problem with the lady. Preferably someone I've gone to a couple times, or no, that's great. I don't know why that is. I don't know what that says, but I can't have a dude. Just can't. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I can't have a dude either. So there's that.
I don't know what it is.
Women in the chat room are saying that they prefer a woman giving them a massage over a dude.
Yeah. And then someone in the chat says it's a little homophobic. I disagree. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with masculinity and my own perception of myself. I think that's probably true. but I don't think it has anything to do with whether or not.
Are you afraid he's gonna like beat you up suddenly?
No, I don't. And the thing is, you're probably gonna get like just well, that's not true because I had a massage once from a lady who looked like she was 1,000 years old and could barely move, and she actually used a walker to get around. But she gave massages, and my gosh, that woman was strong. I couldn't believe how strong she was. She was doing things to these knots in my back that I mean, to this day, I still haven't had a massage.
Oh my gosh, that is such a genius move.
Yeah.
Come in with your walker.
Yeah.
And act like you're weak, and then no matter what you do, they'll think you're stronger.
It was
than
for
you are.
some injury she had, so it wasn't like an old person walker. It was more like a walker for just mobility. But once she got up to you and was up against the table, all bets were off. It was like, oh my gosh, what 400-pound gorilla monster is pushing my back right now? Nope, it's just that lady with the walker. It was weird.
I wonder too if, like, for me, I don't like a guy doing it because I can't gab like a girl. Like I've figured out how to get girls to talk really easily, and sometimes dudes I have to work at getting them to talk. So maybe that's it. It's so much more work.
Yeah.
All right, so you and I have to go get massages by dudes, and we can't talk.
Okay, so I get a dude. I can't say anything. Oh, the other one I can't do is I can't do massages at the massage college where it's like students learning how to do it. I can't do that. That's weird. Because they're gonna screw up and like jam a pinky in my ear or something like that, or I don't know what they're gonna do. But
so you're just too nervous.
You're going too fast. I knew the pinky was gonna go in the ear. You're out of control.
You're out of control here. Like I just don't trust a bunch of students. Like hair play, I don't want to get my hair cut at a hair salon or a hair school.
A hair school.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's only $4. I'm like, yeah, but they're gonna butcher me in there.
I wanted to do that nose waxing at the get that from one of the college the cosmetology college that one of Tristan's exes went to, and she says, you don't have to come up nose waxing.
Oh, have you never done that?
this?
It's
No.
amazing. Oh my gosh, nose waxing.
Yeah, they put it's basically like any other hair removal, but they put it on a stick, put it up your nose, and go rip.
Yep.
And apparently it doesn't hurt because it's all happening at once.
If you do it really fast,
Yes.
it's like your brain doesn't know. Here's the problem. I had my sister-in-law Sarah do it because they were all into it for a while, and she was like, "Here, try it." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." But they put wax on the end of hot wax on the end of like a tongue depressor style toothpick thing. Jam it up your nose. Let it cool. You know, it's not super hot or anything, but lets it cool a little bit. And then once it feels like it's nice and sturdy in there, you're supposed to just go as fast as you can. But she didn't let it set long enough, and when she yanked it, it just pulled like taffy, and it hurt like a mother scratcher. But I've done it since then, and I did it right the next time, and it was amazing. And my gosh, dude, it's probably bad because you need your hairs in there to filter air and stuff.
Yes.
But when you're like getting like, you know, Uncle Jack level hair in your nose, do you remember that?
Where it's almost a mustache.
Do you remember how Uncle Jack would show up at things, and his ear hair and nose hair was like their own entities?
Almost combined.
Yeah, you felt like you had to give a bigger tip to your Uber driver because there were 3 extra passengers and they were all hairs coming out of you. But anyway, he would when I got that taken out, it was like a week of bliss. Just no hair up there.
And did you get the flu?
No, no. It was in the summer. It was in the summer, so I never got sick.
I mean, okay. You guys are like ladies. I gotta go. This is confusing. And my nose hurts so bad just talking to you guys about this.
Well, there is definitely a moment of like, I don't know, like not sneeziness, but like your eyes water.
Snot sneezing.
You get a little.
That was unintentional, but snot sneezing.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. But like your eyes get a little watery and it's a little intense. But just once in a while, just as a little grooming thing, it's just like, hey, let's go in there and get some stragglers. You know, let's get out the real pain in the butt hairs, the hairs that don't care, the hairs that live by their own rules. Let's get those out. Because every once in a while, I get an Uncle Jack one that'll just like flop out of nowhere and be 8 inches long. I'm like, what is this in my nose? This isn't right. This is bad. So I have to go kill it. Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
So you should do now. You see, look, you're so shocked by this. You should do a nose hair removal. You should.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be submersion therapy. That would be insertion therapy.
Yeah, insertion therapy. And an extraction.
Coagulation therapy.
Yes. It's insertion hair yank therapy.
That sounds terrible.
All right. Well, that's the chat room's like, well, just pull the one hair out. No, I will when there's the one.
What about these bosses in your life? It's hilarious.
I know they're always telling us what to do. I should just ignore
Okay.
it.
P.S. Real quick announcement.
Yeah.
The health. We got to figure out what to call it. Would you guys like come up with a name? I can't even figure out a name for my dog.
So this is
could
your
you
combined thing you're
Yes.
doing with. Okay.
He looks like a Baxter.
Yeah, Baxter's
he
pretty
does,
good name.
right? We were
Yeah.
gonna do Watson. He looks a little like we could put a little hat and a pipe.
Yep.
I don't know.
Any old British butler names are perfect for beagles.
I liked Sir Geoffrey, but no one liked it.
Sir Geoffrey. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
would be funny. Okay, so
My
but
friends
really,
have a cat that's named Dr. Funkasaurus, and I think that's the best cat name ever.
Funkasaurus.
Dr. Funkasaurus.
Just can you call him Doctor for sure? Okay,
Yeah,
so really
yeah, they
quick.
do.
Next week, I will be explaining much more and telling people how to sign up. But we are going to do this health challenge thingy. See, it needs a name.
Yeah,
Somebody
it doesn't need a name, yeah.
rehealthing, rewriting the script in your head about your body and your life. That's what it is. Anyway, so that's coming up. So people look forward to it. Please help me out here, and it'll make more sense next week because we'll get it all solidified what to do.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's not just we're gonna have a group of as many people as want to do that. That's going to be kind of the light version of the same thing, and then we'll have to do the full program. Anyway, so it's going to be exciting. We're putting it together today. I'm headed to a meeting right now to get it all done. So
Nice.
stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah, and you guys should in this meeting come up with all the keywords that sort of describe what you guys do. Send me that in a text, and then I can even help come up with a name.
Okay.
Brian and I will
Yeah.
throw
We
you
can let
ideas. Yeah.
Okay. And you do it on the show. You get the Frog Pants people to. I'm so happy to hand this off. I'm not kidding.
We're brainsoursing it.
Yeah, we're
the
crowdsourcing it.
the opposite of what I'm capable of. I
Right.
can't do it.
All right.
So
It's all good.
like I can't change a dog's name. People, this is how bad it is. So
Yeah. I like
Anyway, it'll be fun.
Bosley too. Bosley's pretty good, by the way.
Bosley. But what about Roscoe? Right. For-
Roscoe's pretty good.
Roscoe's good.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh,
You don't want him
who's-
to grow into a Roscoe
Roscoe
P. Coltrane.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Damn dudes. Yeah, you don't
What's
want
the
that.
name of the car? The General Lee.
General Lee.
The General Lee.
The General Lee.
The General Lee.
Generally.
Yeah, give him the
That's her name.
that'll be the name, the General Lee.
Like, what's your dog's name? General Lee.
Yeah, General Lee.
Yeah. Just shut up.
I love that. That would be Robert then for sure. You call him Robert
Yes,
E. Lee.
for Robert.
Excellent. Well, may you figure that all out between now and the next time we see you. And I'm excited for you. It sounds like a rad thing. So we'll help
Gonna
where
be
we
fun.
can here.
All right. Bye,
Have
guys.
a good one. Bye,
Bye.
Wendy. She's at Wendy Dunford on Instagram. By the way, I have to give thanks to somebody because I've been fiddling with it this entire episode, and I just realized that I haven't thanked anybody. The other day in the mail, at the P.O. Box, from an anonymous sender, they didn't leave a name, but it did say somebody in PA, so wherever you are in Pennsylvania, I don't know who you are, but they mimicked and made let's see if I can show you this. In Mad Max Fury Road, Mad Max has one of these on his wrist. It's like this weird
look at that.
rope,
That's cool.
rope-like
Leather-
bracelet thing
Yeah.
that has its own sort of sealing thing. And the cool thing about it is if you take this apart, it's like a really good high tensile rope. So if you're in like a survival situation, you can use it as
for
a
your
rope.
127 hours moment. You can use that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
to pull your arm off.
Good
Yeah.
example. Anyway, it's this awesome bracelet thing that Mad Max actually wears. Tom Hardy's character is wearing this in the film. You see it a lot when he's driving. And he mimicked it and made it. I say he, it could be a she, I don't know. They didn't give any indication. They just sent a nice letter with
I don't
no
like
name.
my leather goods made by men. I prefer them made by
Yeah,
women.
I want all my leather goods made by women and my massages by women. And that massage thing, I don't know what my problem is. But anyway, that is so cool, and I'm annoyed I can't thank you by name. So whoever did this, you rock.
That's cool.
I love it.
You're saying it's actually paracord. It's not leather, so it's like a paracord.
Correct. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Paracord?
Yeah, paracord. Mm-hmm. Like parachute.
Yeah, like that. That's the stuff. Yeah, it's very, very neat. And then also Choco Mama sent me a bunch of sugar-free chocolate things, and they are amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Good.
thank
She
you.
sent me a sugar full.
Oh, good. Well, she sent a little of both because she knew the kids wouldn't be at all interested in my lifestyle change. But
Oh, that's cool.
But they're very good.
But she did not tell you which ones are sugar-free and which ones are sugar-full.
She put a sticker on the one box, so it was okay. It all worked out. But
Very
that was
cool.
very nice of you. So I always love going to the P.O. Box, finding cool stuff, and you guys are super nice. So thank
sure.
you for that. In
Makes
person in
us
PA.
happy.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're done. That's it.
Okay.
We're gonna go. What else? A reminder.
Let's clap with every word we say from now on. From their entire Friday PM episode will be welcome to TMS
That's
PM.
PM. Go to patreon.com/TMS. That wouldn't get annoying after a while, would it?
No, not even initially for a few seconds.
Yeah, not at all. All right. Frogpants.com/TMS for everything else. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back tomorrow for a PM edition of the show at 3:30. There will be an instance tomorrow, although it might be in the form of this interview I'm doing later today or this morning. So if you didn't get word on that earlier in the show, you showed up late and you want to ask some WoW questions, you can use that to do it. It's in the chat. And what else? Film Sack this weekend for sure. We're doing Mask of Zorro.
Mask of Zorro.
Yeah.
Starring a Mexican person playing a Spanish person playing a Mexican person who's playing a Spanish person.
That's right. And then
with a Welsh lady.
Yeah, a Welsh lady, I was going to say.
Playing a Spanish person. The Mexican person. I can't keep track.
Oscar nominee Antonio Banderas.
That's right.
In this film. Anyway, so that's the thing. We'll be getting to that and other stuff this weekend, so check it out. All right, Brian, I guess that's everything. Do you want to do a little song?
Yes. I missed this one yesterday, or actually missed this a couple days ago. Kei Katsumi wrote in and said, hey, Sound and Blair, it's the dreaded old over-the-hill birthday milestone that you guys hit last year. I know it's a very late request, so if it makes it for my birthday the 14th, yay. If not, then any time in January is fine. May we all sound a little sparkly into the new year. Signed, Cami. Absolutely, Cami, and happy birthday. Hope you had a great birthday on Tuesday, and sorry I missed this one until now. She wanted to hear something symphonic metal rock similar to or by Within Temptation. Oh, guess what? I've got a really good set of covers from Within Temptation. They put out an album called the Q Music Sessions several years back, and on there is this fantastic cover of The Who's Behind Blue Eyes. This one, for me, kind of evokes that feeling that you got when you heard Sounds of Silence by Disturbed, or the Sound of Silence by Disturbed for the first time. This one's really, really good. Here is Within Temptation and Behind Blue Eyes.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. So I will leave you now with a face. Are you ready? Here's a face. That was from ELR 2005.
Oh, there. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
15 years old, that noise. In